After I made this video, which was all about me learning from mistakes filming down at my local beach, I did get some interest in doing a follow-up focused on a before you leave home equipment checklist for shooting video out on location. This is about the equipment related to the camera itself, other than the actual camera body. This is a 10-item checklist. I built this checklist having personally experienced the bitter disappointment that comes with arriving on location to capture some video content. The conditions are absolutely perfect and you've forgotten that one essential piece of equipment that is going to enable you to do that. Other than the camera body itself, here's everything that typically I would expect to want to take out with me on a location video shoot, laid out all together on a table. First of all, batteries for stuff. The camera that I typically take on the shoot is the same one that I've got here in the office filming when I do these Talking Heads videos, and it uses a permanent power supply that slots into the battery compartment of the camera itself. So typically when I'm taking it off the tripod that's mounted here, it's empty of a battery. I need to remember to take that, and I need to remember to take it out of my charger because I want to make sure, of course, that I'm taking a fully charged battery with me for the camera. That applies as well for these two batteries that fit into the gimbal that I use. More about that gimbal a little bit later. This is essential for daytime shoots, particularly if I'm using this 24mm Sigma lens, which wide open is at f1.4, and I often want to do that to get the nice smooth background effect. So without this, the image is just going to be completely blown out and unusable. Memory card. To save time and any faffing about when I get to where I want to shoot video, in case the light's going down or something like that. Clean, so I'm ready to go when I get there. Next on the list is the mic, which, similar to the camera that I take out on the shoot, usually is situated here in the office for my little YouTube setup that I've got. So I want to make sure that I've remembered to take that with me, dismantling it from its boom here, and not forgetting the critical windshield. You'll probably have a good idea of what you want to capture when you're going out on a video shoot. You've probably done a bit of pre-planning there in any case. If not, I think that's good practice, particularly if you need to travel a little bit light when it comes to lenses. So next on the list is making sure that I've got the right lens to take with me to get the shot or series of shots that I want to capture. This next one's not exactly an essential, but I do find it really useful from time to time, particularly if I'm shooting with a big light, natural light difference between me in front of the camera and then the background. That can happen typically when you've got a sunny day and you are keeping yourself in shade to get a nice balanced light, or at dusk. So when you're exposing for the background, it means that you're likely going to have a very dark foreground. So this really handy portable light, it goes bright enough to deal with those conditions pretty well for me. As you can see, that's probably massively overexposed me as I pointed that at my face on this shot here. In any case, this is another one that needs to think about charging in advance, so it's got an inbuilt battery. By the way, really usefully as well, cold shoes on top of here. So this goes on the camera, and then the mic that I've got, this video mic, this Rode video mic, will just slot straight on the top. So it makes quite a compact and neat little package on top of the camera. On my list after that is a colour reference card. This is the colour checker passports from X-Rite that I've covered in a previous video, and I really like it because it's portable, and yeah, it's great if you are shooting in lighting conditions that change, which is pretty much always the case when you are on an outdoor location shoot and or if you are changing between lenses on your camera, just to give you that workflow time improvement when you get back to editing the video, so you've got consistent baseline color correction capability. Just 3 things left on the list now, and this one is probably my current favourite gadget and bit of kit. And again, I covered this very briefly on a previous video. So this is the Weebill S gimbal from Heydon, not forgetting to have taken those batteries that I referenced earlier. Nearly there on my list. Next up, penultimately, although I am going to cheat and add just one tiny little addition in a moment, is the attachment to go on the camera for whichever tripod I'm using, so the tripod mount. And my cheat bonus thing to add onto the list is some kind of tool to be able to attach and detach the tripod mount. Here's mine, a 1p coin, universally useful. And finally, although I imagine that you've probably got one of these permanently in your camera bag in any case, trusty old lens cloth to keep those images looking nice and clean. This one happens to come in its own handy little pouch. And that's it. That's my equipment checklist for all of the pieces that I want to make sure that I'm taking with me, typically when I go out on a video shoot. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a like or even consider subscribing. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.